Hey everyone, this is Pallavi and I'm back with an exciting new series of videos. We'll be exploring one of the brilliant chess books ever, the most instructive games of chess ever played by Irving Chernev. These 62 masterpieces are packed with strategic insights that can transform your game. In this video, I won't be going over every single move in detail. Instead, I'll focus on the key strategic ideas and critical moments that shape the game. I'll explain the plans and concepts behind the moves whenever necessary to help you understand the bigger picture. So let's dive in and learn from the legends. This game was played between the legendary players José Raúl Capablanca and Savielly Tartakower in New York 1924, featuring the Dutch defense. Capablanca's play in the following game offers a clear formula for rook and pawn endings. Seize the 7th rank with your rooks and advance your king to the 6th. He sacrifices pawns to reach key squares where his king and rook dominate, forcing the opponent's king into defense. As a result, 4 pawns fall quickly, making further resistance futile. His methodical play is both instructive and beautiful. Now let's see the game. White started with d4. Black played e6. Knight f3, f5, the Dutch defense. c4. Knight f6. Bishop to g5, pinning the knight. Bishop e7. Now white played knight to c3, developing towards the center. Black played kingside castle. e3. b6. And now white played bishop to d3, developing the bishop. Black played bishop to b7. Now white played kingside castle. Black played queen to e8. Black evidently intends to attack on the king side by queen h5 and knight g4, a customary strategy in the Dutch defense. Now white played queen to e2. This move forces Tartakower to reconsider the queen h5 move and knight which is made by e4, strengthening white's center. Now black played knight e4, stopping the e4, and now white played bishop takes e7. Black captured knight takes c3. White captured b takes c3. Then black captured queen takes e7. The exchanges have left white with a doubled c pawn. In compensation for the weakness, the b file has been opened and is available to his rooks. Now white played a4. A clever preventive move. It stops an unwelcome intrusion by queen a3 and also prepares to meet knight c6 with rook fb1. And if then knight a5, then c5 undoubles the pawns by force, since the continuation b takes c5, rook to b5 is to white's advantage. It will be attacking the knight here. So after a4, black played bishop takes f3, white captured queen takes f3. Now the queen is attacking the rook on a8. Black played knight c6, rook fb1, and then rook ae8. White played queen h3. Another preventive move. Black cannot free himself by e5 as bishop takes f5 would follow. The queen's move also makes it possible for white to play f4, giving him a grip on the square e5. Now black played rook f6. White played f4. Now that's a good move because it's controlling these two squares. Now black played knight to a5. White played queen f3. It returns to the f3 square to dominate the long diagonal here. Black played d6. Then white played rook to e1. Having done its work on the b file, the rook moves to the center to support a break by e4. Black played queen d7. Now white played e4. White opens the position to activate his pieces. Black captured f takes e4. Now white captured queen takes e4, attacking h7. Black played g6. If instead rook to h6, then rook a2, idea rook f2 followed by f5, targeting the e6 pawn. So after g6, now white played g3. White secures his position before launching a kingside attack with h4 and h5. Black played king f8, white played king to g2. Rook f7, and now white played h4. Black played d5. Now this leads to a queen exchange, leaving white with a slight advantage, enough for Capablanca. White played c takes d5, black played e takes d5. Now queen takes e8 check, queen takes e8, rook takes e8 check, king takes e8, and now white played h5, all according to plan. If black plays g takes h5, there follows rook h1, king f8, rook takes h5, and white wins the h pawn or the d pawn. So after h5, black played rook f6, white captured h takes g6, black also captured h takes g6. Now white played rook h1. Capablanca's rook controls an open file and will take the 7th rank next. If Tartakower tries rook to c6, then bishop b5 pins the rook. Now black played king f8, white played rook h7, rook to the 7th, the magic move in rook and pawn endings. What is the secret in this in the strength of this move? It is this, that the rook is in perfect position to attack the pawns that not yet moved, those still standing on the 2nd rank. The rook is separated to attack any pawns that have moved by getting behind them without loss of time. The pawns would be under constant threat of capture, no matter how many squares they advanced on the file. Then the rook's domination of the 7th rank confines the opposing king to the last rank, preventing him from taking any part in the fighting. Now black played rook c6, white played g4, black played knight c4. The knight quickly enters the active play. Black avoids taking the pawn on c3, as bishop takes g6 would give white 2 connected passed pawns. So after knight c4, white played g5, threatens to win by rook h6, king g7, and then f5, putting pressure on the pinned pawn. Now black played knight e3, check on the king. Now white played king f3, knight f5. Knight d1 was better, idea knight to b2, but black played knight f5. Then white captured bishop takes f5, g takes f5. Capablanca follows with a brilliant continuation, planned many moves ahead. In a simplified ending, he sacrifices 2 pawns, even allowing black to capture them with check. Now white played king to g3. The king is headed for f6, where he can support the rook's checkmating threats and help the passed pawn advance. Black captured rook takes c3 check, king h4, and then black played rook f3. Instead of this, if black tries to exchange rooks, this follows. For example, if black had played rook to c1 instead of rook f3, rook to c1, then king h5, rook h1 check, king g6, rook takes h7, king takes h7, and then c5, then g6, and the pawn crashes through. So after rook to f3, now white played g6. Rook takes f4 check. King move to g5. Rook e4. Capturing the d pawn would be fatal because of king f6. Then king g8, rook d7, and white checkmates on the 8th rank. And instead of king g8, if black goes king to e8, then rook h8 check, king d7, g7, and black must give up his rook for the pawn. So after king g5, black played rook e4, and now white played a good move, which is king to f6. An excellent move. The king supports the passed pawn while threatening checkmate. White ignores capturing black's pawn, using it as a shield against rook's checks. King g8. White played rook g7 check, king h8, rook takes c7 pawn, and then black played rook e8. King took the pawn on f5, rook to e4, and then king f6. Rook f4 check, king e5, attacking the rook. So white targets the queenside pawns with the more active king. It's as if white has an extra piece. So now black played rook to g4, g7 check. Black doesn't dare take the pawn because if rook takes g7, then rook takes rook, king takes d5, king f7, king d6, king e8, king c7, king e7, d5, and the pawn cannot be stopped. So after g7 check, black played king to g8. Now white captured rook takes a7. Black played rook g1, king took the pawn on d5, rook c1, king d6, rook c2, the pawn pushes to d5, rook c1, rook c7, rook a1, king to c6, rook captured a4, and then white played d6, and here black resigned. The continuation could be, for example, rook to d4, then d7, rook c4 check. If not, instead of rook c4 check, if black captures g7, then d8 promotes to pawn, promotes to queen, and it's a discovered check. And after d7, if rook gives a check from c4, king b7, rook d4, and then king c8, and the pawn becomes a queen next move. Richard Reti, who was one of the strongest chess players of the early 1900s, said, "No one has ever played these endgames with such elegant ease as Capablanca." Here are the key lessons from this game. Number 1. Rook activity is crucial. Placing the rook on the 7th rank dominates the opponent's position, attacks weak pawns, and restricts the enemy king. Number 2. King activity in the endgame. Capablanca actively used his king, advancing it early to support his rook and passed pawn, while black's king remained passive. Number 3. Pawn sacrifices for activity. Capablanca willingly gave up pawns to activate his pieces, demonstrating that dynamic piece play often outweighs material. Number 4. Preventive thinking. Many of the Capablanca's moves aimed to restrict black's counterplay before launching his own plans. Number 5. Passed pawns decide games. In the endgame, Capablanca's passed pawn became unstoppable, showing how powerful a well-supported passer can be. Number 6. Harmony between pieces. Every move had a purpose, with the rook, king, and pawns working together seamlessly, a hallmark of Capablanca's legendary technique. Number 7. Simplicity and efficiency. Capablanca's play was direct and methodical, proving that elegant, simple plans often win more convincingly than complicated calculations. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and share to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe for more chess contents. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.